What's happening, fam? LAR movement still moving. Subscriber dies trying. You see the thumbnail, the justice system. So I think Joshua McKenzie is the name, right? So I'm gonna start with him. So guy gets pulled over. He got 15 grams of Adderall. He's got fake IDs. He's got credit cards that they figure, oh, these cards are from burglaries. And then he got pulled over because the car he was driving was stolen. So the judge gives him $5,000 bond, which is $500 for most people who don't get it. So, white guy, you see him in the picture, that's in the thumbnail. So I was talking to my lady prior to that. I knew the article, but I just left it alone. And I was showing her pictures, videos of actually. So there's a video of a guy, they're racing cars, they get in an argument, Hispanic guy gets an argument with a white guy. Hispanic guy pulls a gun out. Then he gives the gun to his girlfriend, takes off his shirt, gets beat up. Then I show a video of an Astros and Dodgers games where the Astro fans and the Dodgers fans are in a fight, white people, Hispanic people. Then I show a video that just happened here, also in Houston, where a young lady ran over a young lady, 22-year-old young lady, in a parking lot where she tried to run over people 3 different times, and she left the parking lot and came back in and hit these people. But they don't know the young girl yet. And it's like, they can't find the girl. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is the justice system, because we'd be in jail for that. Now, with the white guy, it was funny because Josh McKenzie, I laughed because one of the commenters was like, they looked into the case, I guess, and they wrote their thing. They could be lying. It's like he's a 2-time felon on drug offenses. And it really wasn't $5,000. He got $2,500 for 2 different cases. And the people in the comment section, they weren't doing he's a savage, he's a scum, he's the scum of the earth, this is how these people act. They weren't doing that. What they were doing was they were blaming the judge. Like, somebody needs to get rid of this judge. And then I started thinking about it. Yeah, the judge is, him and the judge are in the same group. They look alike, right? But not just the judge. What about the prosecutor? What about the prosecutor? What about the prosecutor and your public defender? They were cool with it. They were cool with, here's a deal, $5,000 bail, and you can go home. Yeah. I mean, he's not a threat to the public. I mean, he just was driving around in a stolen car, stolen credit cards. It's not like he's going to break into somebody's house and steal stuff from them or steal their car or anything. He's not like a risk. He's running around with Adderall. It's not that big of a deal. He's trying to focus. I was thinking about that because I was on a breakdown of a woman's perspective a few weeks back, and they had a white guy from Ohio talking about, him catching a couple of cases, drug cases or whatever, and they just letting him go. And at the same time, I was looking at part of the documentary. It's like one of the War on Drugs documentaries, the one that has Cheech and Chong in it. I was trying to show her a scene in that where Chong got arrested because his son was selling glass pipes, mini bongs, whatever you want to call it, but with Chong's name, because that's his son. So he was using Chong's name and face as the logo. And he sold it across the state line, and then they arrested Chong actually for it. And then part of his thing, because he did like 9 months in federal prison for that. And he was like, I felt black how they did this. Like, I felt black. And I was showing her that, and there's an old redneck in the video talking about how they rounded up a lot of black people in Tulia, Texas in the 80s or whatever. I think 80s, early 90s or whatever. By a guy who wasn't really a cop, but he just walked around on his word. They said this guy bought some drugs one day, and he just arrested 10%, like 10% of the black population or something like that on drug charges, and they was getting all these ridiculous numbers. And he was like, this is racial. And the reason I bring all this up is because, that was, 20, almost 30 years ago, maybe 40. No, it got to be like 30, 20 to 30. And when I was showing her the videos, I was like, you see, these people can be filmed on video and get into fights and they can go home. Not a big deal. This guy can be this type of criminal, and if he's a 2-time felon, it's not a big deal. The district attorney and the prosecutor, the public defender and the prosecutor don't want him to go to jail. They don't want this, young Joshy boy. His auntie Mabel makes apple pies for the church on Sundays, and she teaches to disadvantaged youth, so this kid can't go to jail. And people ask, well, how come, what about black on black crime? And how come crime in the black community is so high? And it's like, well, other groups aren't like that. And it's like, because y'all don't get arrested, really. Like, y'all get arrested, but y'all really don't get convicted. You can't think of a black man 2-time felon for drugs just getting, $500 slap on the wrist, riding in a stolen car with stolen credit cards from a possible, home invasion. You might figure it out one day, but and he's just sitting in the thumbnail. I'm gonna get out tomorrow. This is the justice system. So when people, wonder why people look at it with the side eye, it's because of stuff like that. The people at the Astros game, they ain't nothing gonna happen to them. The guy on camera who pulls the gun out and gets beat up, ain't nothing really gonna happen to him. Nothing. That's branded. That's what Pimp C went to jail for, brandishing a firearm. And these dudes are doing it at a gas station, knowing that they're racing cars illegally at the middle of the night. It's like, the young lady who ran over the person, if they catch her, is she gonna get attempted murder? Vehicular assault, maybe, at best, because of some stupid stuff. Because what I'm saying is, if you interject a black face in that, especially a black man in those situations, you getting time. All these other people not getting time. It's not happening. But I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.